Greetings, 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 royal family. I'm back. Thanks for clicking on the video. All right, we on episode 4. Episode 4 of the Shahs of the Sunset on season 9. So this episode opens up right where it left off last week, where Mike admitted to the text that he sent these inappropriate text messages to this unknown woman, basically cyber cheating on his girlfriend Paulina. And he apologized that they're still in Palm Springs. They're at his birthday dinner. So in front of everybody, he apologizes. He apologizes to his friends and to his girl Paulina. Bravo, Michael. Bravo. Right? So Mike actually owned up to his ish. But wait, ladies and gentlemen, there's more. Now, Mike, last week, when the episode ended, Mike said that there was a snake in the group that's trying to ruin his relationship with Paulina, right? Mike always has an angle. This guy, he never ceases to amaze me. So after Mike basically got caught texting this mystery lady, he says that he started receiving spoof texts and says that the text messages came from an app that this mystery person used. So in his confessional, he's trying to give a breakdown of this. And I'm like, Mike, what the heck are you talking about? So Mike continues to explain that this mystery texter knows that Paulina has access to his iCloud and knows that she would basically see the text messages and ultimately ruin his relationship, right? This is the speech and the presentation that he is giving at his birthday dinner, okay? After admitting that he sent and received inappropriate text messages, after denying it, emphatically denying it, right? So now there's some spoof text and somebody's trying to set him up. Oh, Michael. Mind you, this is not even 5 minutes into the show, okay? Mike then throws Reza under the bus by revealing that Reza was the one that told basically told him that it was Gigi that sent these spoof text messages. Royal family, it was at this point that I had to pause my DVR and I cackled for a good 1 minute and 13 seconds, okay? The first commercial break didn't even air, and the Shahs got it jumping, okay? Mike is like, you know, Reza, I'm sorry. I know you told me not to say anything. And Reza's like, Mike, what are you talking about? Reza told me that Gigi was the one sending these food. He's like, let me finish. Mike, he starts yelling. Gigi, she is ready to blow her top. Paulina, she actually spoke, and Reza took off his Versace robe to reveal his half-naked body, and his voice started cracking, so you know he's about to start crying. My God, he's like, I'm getting hot. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? This is supposed to be a birthday dinner, and this is a straight-up circus. Of course, Reza denied it and said that Mike is trying to cover his ish, right? Gigi, she walks off, and she's not as mad as she would normally get. And I thought that was like, not weird, but she's over it. Like, Gigi seems like she's over everybody, right? Because remember, Reza and Gigi last season actually worked on their relationship. I thought it was fake. I think it's solely because MJ and Reza had that nasty falling out last season. So now all of a sudden Reza and Gigi are coming together because Gigi and MJ fell out as well. They never really get along for too long. So whatever. It's like they have a common enemy. High school shit, right? So anyway, Paulina is sticking by her man. I'ma stick beside him. Paulina's like, I'ma stick beside him. And she's like, you know, Reza, don't, Reza. And I'm like, look at Paulina actually speaking up. She's sober? Anyway, come to find out, Gigi and Jessica, who is Mike's ex-wife, this is the one who he cheated on also and swore that he didn't cheat on her. Nima revealed in his confessional, he thinks that Gigi is guilty, right? So he found it odd that Gigi and Jessica, Mike's ex-wife, still hang out and are very close, okay? Pictures were shown, they're hanging out, taking shots, IG photos. So that's why Nima is like, everybody's trying to figure out, it's like a game of Clue. Is this true? Did Gigi really do this? So that's Nima's angle. He kind of believes, yeah, Gigi probably did do something like that. Now remember, Nima and Gigi ain't talking. Gigi's just straight up ignoring him. She ain't talking to Nima. Whatever. Yo, this is before the first commercial break. Getting it jumping. I appreciate it, Shahs. I really do. Now, as far as Reza's concerned, he's in his room. Reza is ready to book it out of there, okay? Reza is packing his stuff. His voice is cracking. So Destiny, she goes into his room and checks on him. And he's in his room, saying that he's going to be leaving first thing in the morning. I said, you leaving? Let me tell you something. Reza does not miss an opportunity to call Mike out on his ish throughout the entire series of this show. And it seems like that's how their friendship is. It's like Reza is that big brother. I don't even know. I think Reza's older. Reza's that big brother who kind of sons Mike. Mike wants to do his real estate venture, which reminds me, what's going on with that building that he bought and his brothers invested in and they were supposed to flip it or whatever? I think the parents gave them the building or whatnot. Anyway, he's supposed to be renting it out. Anywho, I would like to see that in the season if they can get past most of this drama. But keep it coming because I'm entertained. Anyway, even when it has to do with real estate ventures, you know what I'm saying? Reza always sons Mike. He always talks down to Mike like, Mike, you don't know what you're doing. Mike, your life is in shambles. Mike, you need to get your relationship in order. Mike, you need to grow up. Mike, this, so I found it very interesting that Reza would want to leave. Reza does not miss an opportunity to get into an argument with somebody, even if it doesn't have anything to do with him. So the fact that he is ready to pack up, you know what I'm saying, his finest garbs and leave says a lot. So, Destiny, like I said, she's checking on him. So Reza ended up leaving in the middle of the night. Mike, the next day, Mike and Paulina, they left. I think the trip was coming to an end. And all of this is causing Gigi to replay all of the times that Reza did her dirty. Destiny believes Reza. Of course she does. She's back on his good graces because she was on the outs last season and she was kissing his behind to be back in his good graces. So of course she's automatically going to believe Reza. So mind you, Destiny is sitting there talking to Gigi, telling Gigi asked her, what does she think? And she says that she doesn't think that Reza's lying. MJ, she believes Mike. Of course MJ is going to believe Mike because MJ has been a victim of Reza's wrath and drama and his vindictive ways. So of course MJ is going to believe Mike. I believe Mike with this one too. Reza is sneaky, and this season I think that he's going to be using Mike for a storyline. Last season it was MJ. The season prior to that it was Gigi. And Gigi's replaying some of these scenarios where her and Reza had some knockdown, drag out, issues. And Reza admitted in front of everybody, I think a couple seasons ago, that, he sent some letters to her, to Gigi, and tried to embarrass her. This is what Reza does. He is immature and sneaky. What I'm interested in seeing is how MJ will tell Reza that she doesn't believe him, if they have that conversation. I'm waiting to see that. London, who is new to the group, right? This is MJ's friend that she brought into the group. She was there with them in Palm Springs. She breaks out some witchcraft necklace and asks it a question about Mike to try to get to the bottom of this. Girl, go on somewhere. We don't need this right now. You just sit there and be quiet, okay, and eat your food, all right? I don't trust Gigi, though. I don't, because when she links up with Reza, things can get messy. We've seen that since their recent reconciliation 2 seasons ago. And I also don't think that Mike is innocent because of his track record, right? So who knows? Do I think that Mike will get so desperate that he would lie on Reza? I don't know. Mike doesn't have a listen. People will do anything when they're desperate. I understand that, but in the history of this show, Mike hasn't done that. Not that I can recall. I don't remember. And like I said, I've been watching. I said this before. I've been watching since season 1, episode 1. So I don't recall Mike lying on Reza like that. If anything, Mike's gonna lie about cheating on some girl. So then we see Gigi and MJ. So MJ, they're still at the house in Palm Springs. MJ, she sits Gigi down to have kind of like a heart to heart. And I said to myself, how perfect is this? Gigi is questioning what Reza did, and here comes MJ making amends with Gigi. This is the cycle with all of them, right? MJ and Reza fall out. Gigi and Reza get close. Now possibly Gigi and Reza could have a rift in their already tender relationship, or if you want to call it that. And now here comes MJ trying to have a heart to heart with Gigi. So they're all just so dysfunctional. It's absolutely ridiculous. So Gigi is hesitant. She doesn't trust MJ. Bottom line, she feels that they haven't gotten to the root of the issue. I don't know if MJ is really genuine. I don't know. A part of me wants MJ to be genuine, but I don't know. And Gigi, she's just not having it. MJ makes her skin crawl. So they fight like sisters. It's just bad. It's really bad. Anyway, so we shift gears and we see MJ's back home, and she's telling Tommy about everything that's going on. Let me tell you something. Tommy is funny as heck to me. Like, I really like him. Tommy is my kind of guy. Okay? So he put Shams down to sleep. He read Shams a story. Curious George, right? So why Tommy said he said that Curious George. He said Curious George is a meth head. Yo, I said, what? He's like, Curious George, straight up meth head. Straight up. Smokes a pipe. Yo, Tommy, I love him. Tommy is my kind of people. Like, he's my kind of guy. Anyway, so MJ, she starts spilling some details about what went down in Palm Springs, right? So then you see MJ starts malfunctioning, right? Like, she's having a brain fart. And he's like, hello, what happened? Now, MJ is smart in this instance. MJ starts pausing and being selective about what she's telling Tommy, because she doesn't want to tell Tommy too much. Tommy already can't stand Reza because of the despicable things that Reza said to MJ last season. And also, there's that restraining order that Adam and Reza have against Tommy. And if she lets him know, MJ that is, lets Tommy know all the things that transpired, this is just going to make him dislike Reza even more. MJ doesn't want to hear Tommy basically say, I told you so, in my opinion. That's what it seems like. So then we shift gears. For whatever reason, Mike and Pauline, they're sitting down. Mike tells her the same ish that he says to Jessica. I'm sorry. It won't happen again. I don't want to lose you, blah, blah, blah. Listen, Paulina, sis, hear me out, girlfriend. Anything that happens from this point on, you are volunteering to be a part of, okay? Let me get in my on the bag. You are a volunteer, sweetheart, okay? So you will not be a victim. You will be a volunteer because you have a choice. You see what Mike is doing. All of his friends know how he gets down. I'm pretty sure you've heard about the situation with Jessica. You felt comfortable enough to send these text messages that between Mike and some girl to all of his friends. So anything that happens from this point on, you're volunteering for it, girl. And she tells Mike, look, I have a lot of respect for myself. I can't have you doing this. Mike is not your son, Paulina. You got kids. You going through a divorce, or I don't know if I think she's still legally married. Anything that happens going forward, sweetheart, you are volunteering for. You sat in MJ's kitchen on episode 2 or 1, whichever one it was, and you told MJ that this is not the first time that Michael has done this. This being texting other girls. So good luck volunteering for this position, girl. You ain't got nobody to blame but yourself. Moving along, MJ and Reza. So they meet up to work out, and of course they end up talking. Reza, he was so fake and giddy and excited to see MJ with his phony self. Reza, he says that Mike's outburst reminded him of his own father when Reza's father cheated on Reza's mother. And I'm saying to myself, what? Reza, I'm gonna need you to stop this. But I do applaud your effort and your melodrama. I do applaud it. So when Mike was cheating on Jessica, didn't trigger you? Anyway, MJ's concern is basically fixing things with Reza, right? I feel that MJ is just trying to get Reza and Adam to drop that, those charges. And I think Reza kind of knows that too, even though they didn't bring it up, right? I do think that she misses Reza, but I don't think that she will ever trust him to the magnitude that she used to ever again, especially after what he said to her at that pool party. Reza, you dead wrong for that. And I don't think that MJ should ever let you live that down. Because Tommy isn't. Tommy's not going to let her forget. And I think that that's why Tommy feels, among other things, Tommy feels strongly about keeping his distance from Reza. Well, he has to legally anyway, right? I think that Reza, he's enjoying getting back close with MJ, and he knows he has something over her head, because ultimately I think that Reza is jealous of the fact that MJ has Tommy. I don't think that Reza thought that MJ was ever going to get married and have a child. I think that she was always going to be like the third wheel as it pertains to Reza and Adam. And she found a man that is head over heels in love with her, protective of her, okay? Will go to bat for her. And I think Reza's a little bit envious of that, because he's losing control as the male figure in MJ's life, I know it sounds crazy, but they've been friends for 30-something years, right? That, you know what I'm saying? So Reza seems like the type that he likes things his way. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, I think that dynamic is, I don't think MJ and Reza are ever going to be the same. I really don't. So then we shift gears to see MJ and Gigi meeting up. So Gigi, she finally meets MJ's son, baby Shams, who is adorable. He's not a baby anymore. He's running around, playing. Gigi, she's planning on having a party to introduce her son, Elijah, to everybody. And she extended an invitation to MJ. So I said, okay, they trying to, baby steps or whatever. They may never get back fully 100%. But, I don't know. Gigi, sometimes she's too whiny for me, but I get it. Whatever. It is what it is. MJ and Gigi are always going to be bickering back and forth. It just seems like that's the dynamic of whatever they want to call this relationship. Anyway, so here's Gigi's dilemma. And I can understand this. This makes sense. She doesn't know who to believe, right? With this Mike and Reza situation, and Reza, Mike saying that Reza said that Gigi was the one that sent these spoof text messages, right? She doesn't want to take the side of the wrong person and risk being betrayed and or looking foolish. I totally get it. If she believes Reza and Reza is lying, then boom, she gets betrayed again by Reza and she looks stupid. If she believes Mike and takes Mike's side and Mike is lying, boom, she looks stupid. And then what little relationship that she's been working on with Reza could be demolished. So she's in between a rock and a hard place. Did she ever admit that did she ever say that she didn't send them? I think she did. She said, I have nothing to do with it. But she's a little bit too calm for me. I don't know. We'll see how this plays out. Then, during Gigi and MJ's meeting with baby Shams, they're at the park or whatever, MJ reveals that Tommy is the one that does not want baby Shams anywhere near Reza. So Reza may never meet MJ's son. My opinion on that, oh well. I feel like Tommy has a right to decide who his son is around, and I respect MJ sticking by her husband, as she should. If Reza gets upset about that, then he should blame his husband, Adam, because this is all his fault, and I will continue to say that, right? So I think next week, MJ might tell Reza that he has no chance in hell of meeting baby Shams, okay? I don't know. I'm not mad at it. I don't think that Tommy is being spiteful. I really believe that the things that Reza has said to MJ prior to her having the baby, at that pool party were despicable. The things that he did when MJ was in the hospital giving birth and she had complications with her labor and delivery, and Reza was just so selfish. talking about, well, something that your man did. It's just trash. Tommy was terrified that he might lose his wife. And here it is. You're supposed to be her friend of 30 something odd years, right? Like a brother to her. And you're trashing her on social media. And Tommy is very protective of his wife, as he should be. And I love every single second of it. And I think Reza can't take it. I think he just cannot take it. So it is what it is. So when Reza finds out that Tommy don't want him to see his son, I wonder what Reza is going to do. Is he going to throw on the theatrics? Is he going to get dramatic? I don't blame Tommy. Would you? Blame Adam, because again, it's all his fault. All right, royal family. So this concludes this review for Shahs of Sunset, season 9. What episode was this again? Episode 4. All right, drop down in the comments, like the video if you liked it, share the video, share. I definitely don't mind. All right, I'm signing off. And as always, until next time, folks, peace.